Hey gamers and goblins, welcome to my Homeworld series, sponsored by Gearbox. Thank you very much to them. If you want to check out Homeworld 3, you can use my link in the description, and you can buy it on Steam or the Epic Games Store if you want to play it today. This video is a more advanced guide for war games, specifically a strategy that's really powerful and can help you win literally any battle. It also applies to the campaign mode and maybe to the multiplayer skirmish mode, but probably not. It's a very simple and easy tactic too. Yeah, let's jump into war games. Whether you're playing it co-op or alone like I am, because I don't have any friends, sad. It's sort of a roguelike mode where you travel through different arenas, complete different objectives, and you get stronger and stronger as you progress through the war games mode. You unlock more abilities and things like that. Now, for the war games mode, you want to understand fundamentals like collecting resources and flanking stronger capital ships or things like that. Assuming you already know all of that mostly, I'm gonna share a pretty broken tactic that'll basically always work in war games mode. I call it the circle strat. No, I'm not kidding. It's really very simple. What you do, as always, to basically win any battle in the campaign mode or war games mode, to complete your objectives really quickly, to basically not lose any units ever. I guess unless you forget to heal them. You start like normal, you put all of your resource ships into a control group, and then you have them go collect resources somewhere. I always recommend it because it's so low micro and it always gets you resources. If you need to go salvage somewhere too, then you can start going to do that. And then you round out your fleet by building out the ships that you can. As you go through the game more in the war games mode, you'll be able to research more ships and build more ships. You'll just get stronger and stronger as the enemies get stronger and stronger too. You take your carrier, you focus on moving it from point to point, from objective to objective, whether you need to salvage ships, whether you need to defeat a carrier or something like that. You round out your fleet as best as you can, you put them in guard mode, and then you basically just have them follow your carrier around. You always have this like big hub of protection around your carrier ship. I would say to build some support frigates as soon as you can too. Those are really good because then they can heal your capital ship and all of the other ships in your unit. But that's not what makes the strategy special. What makes the strategy really special is the circle strat. Basically, you select your whole army and you put them into the circle formation. Please note that this is actually called the sphere formation. I don't know why I thought it was the circle formation. It's the sphere formation. The circle formation is weirdly powerful because it lets you concentrate your firepower, much more so than most other formations. I think the X formation is pretty close. That way, if anyone tries to skirmish at you or attack you or whatever, you always have so much firepower that you'll kind of just swat them away. It's pretty good, especially when you have a lot of different units and enemies attacking you. That way you don't need to worry too much about being ambushed. Still be careful, of course, but you can kind of just avoid a lot of the enemies. If some of the enemies come to attack you, you can just kind of turtle and withstand their attack by having everyone be in circle formation. Like right here, I was swarmed on 3 sides by a bunch of different enemies, but just by putting my troops in the circle formation, it does so much damage to these ships that it was barely a threat. It's pretty ridiculous. The one and only downside I can see with this strategy is that you gotta look out for your resource people getting stranded. Probably more effective to just have a handful of troops there to guard them. But if you're like me and you don't want to micro that, just build more of them if you need to. Otherwise, just, follow them around and make sure they're protected so that you always have enough resources to build more ships or to research. But because all of your ships are right there, they're really easy to heal too. You can just select all of the damaged ones and have them dock just to heal really quick. It's even better if you have support frigates too, because they'll heal the ships passively in your formations too. And your units don't swarm and get isolated as much too. I think it's really overpowered and sort of broken. I don't think it would work in the multiplayer skirmish mode because then you're fighting other players in multiplayer combat. So I would assume that you just get harassed from all sorts of angles and you lose your resource ships and you can't get any more resources. And then you kind of just like get sieged out until you die. Maybe get torpedoed from a distance or whatever. I imagine something like that would happen. But for fighting the AI, it's a really broken strategy to always win your battles. It's super effective. Like, look at how hard we're just tanking, running through multiple waves of enemies from multiple incursion points, trying to swarm us all at the same time. No problem for the circle strat. Thank you a bunch to Gearbox for working with me on all these videos. If you want to play Homeworld 3 for yourself, use my link in the description. You can buy it on Steam or the Epic Game Store and play it today.